Theresa May has coordinated a Project Brexit departure treaty in Brussels. Her office supported it on environment, but down there include with bin resignations. 2 office ministers, and 2 younger ministers, include obedient above the transactions, time several prudent MPs include taken to strength a management competition by written letters of no trust in the main secretary. Which happens currently. The UK is due to keep the Europe Association at 23 o'clock GMT on Friday, March 29, 2019, following human beings elect by 51.9% to 48.1% for keep in the 2016 plebiscite. The UK and the EU include consumable more than rather than a year hard to accept on how the divorce rate, as he's frequently named, will job in experience. The transactions would as well requirement to get the mark of adoption of MPs or, eventually, the 27 some EU term state. Near the 585 web-page departure treaty is a 5-page policy proclamation installation out which next UK and EU relations will see love. The is a wide contour and is not mandatory. The detailed information of a trading transactions will be treated out for the transfer time in both of the EU and UK, hoping to include an treaty in location by December 2020. The policy proclamation envisages a complementary trading region and profound company operation on consumer goods, in null tariff and quotas. Down there would be aspiring customs officer institutional arrangement, how construct on the institutional arrangement in the departure treaty. The 2 sides say they wish the new location to resolve the Irish boundary issue, removal the requirement for how busy supporting. So they coordinated to put in location a supporting, a type of security net to provide down there is no difficult boundary everything the result of next trading negotiations among the UK and the EU. The supporting will indicate how Northern Ireland would remain verified to several EU rules on things love meal means and consumer goods standards. How will hinder the as necessary for checks on consumer goods at the Irish boundary, but would need several means creature driven to Northern Ireland of the otherwise of the UK to be object to new checks and controls. The supporting would as well engage a interim solitary tradition area, efficaciously compliance the entire of the UK in the EU Customs Officer Association. But the bit is contentious. Brexiters do not love the perspective of creature connected to EU customs officer rules, and Northern Ireland's more democratic trade unionist side has told it will not admit whatever how creates a new boundary downward the Irish Ocean. The part of the Europe trial of judiciary, that will yet include jurisdictional in the UK on customs officer and solitary marketplace rules, could as well iskra protests. Mrs. May says she does not wish to include to use the supporting at all, and the departure treaty says the UK and the EU will solve to provide it is not required by upcoming in option institutional arrangement. They could as well expand the transfer if down there is no length term decision in location by July 2020, but just 1 day. Job and Pensions Secretariat Esther McVeigh and younger Brexit Secretary Suella Braverman include as well abandon, as include Anne-Marie Trevelyan, a government assistant at the Formation Division, and Ronil J. Awardina, a government assistant at the Judiciary Division. Northern Ireland Secretary Shailesh Vora was the at first to abandon above Mrs. May's treaty on Thursday night. Proverb, et foliage the UK in a half building in no period range on while we will eventually be a independent nationality. On Thursday afternoon, Reman Kishti, the MP for Gillingham and Rainham, announced his retire as defect chairman of the Prudent side and as well as the main secretary's trading messenger to Pakistan. An disaster EU summit conference will be detained on November 25, wherever EU leaders are anticipated to mark off on the departure treaty and next relation proclamation. Mrs. May does not include a House of Commons most and lot MPs on her own party, as so as Labour and the some opposition parties, are sceptical on her Brexit plans, or publicly enemy to them. The duplicate, that Mrs. May relies on in key votes, has already told it is potential to voice versus it, pretending it will conduct to the breakdown up of the joint realm. A quantity of prudent MPs include as well told they will voice versus it. If Mrs. May loses the voice, we come unexplored area. She may search to reconsider in the EU, but largest wait her period in number 10 too late. Down there could be a general poll or a new main secretary. Several Tory and Labour MPs expect Mrs May will chief how off by postponing Brexit Day and inviting else plebiscite, thing she has sequentially controlled of. Mrs May herself told how if MPs did not bring together over the treaty, no can aware for certainly the ensuing consequences how will pursue, and it would take away of profound and serious ambiguity. Happy modernize yours web browser to type the substance. Do you include any questions on the project departure treaty? Use the shape to ask yours issue.